Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Intelligent Moron with Alex Silva. Gotta tell you, man, it's been a few pretty chilly past few days here. It's been chilly enough for me to finally put on like my warmer clothes. You know how I said last week I was gonna get them out, get them ready for the colder winter, the colder time of the year. And now it's here. Within within a week, I'm already got it all on. You know, I got some sweats on, a thermal, socks on. We're at the point where socks are never going to come off in the house, anywhere, you know. I just can't do it. Feet get too cold, you know. When your feet are cold like that, it almost seems like it kind of heats, it cools your entire body off or makes your entire body, chilly. And I'm also like in the belief of like that being cold doesn't really make you sick, but it definitely does open you up to not feeling that well. I'm not gonna say that being outside in the cold is gonna make you catch a cold, but it does kind of leave your body vulnerable to having a weaker immune system, like a weaker immune response. So with that being said, now it's time to be warm, toasty, and not being caught outside in summertime clothing. Like I said last week, that's already all put away, all good. I got the warm clothes out, and I'm ready to embrace however cold it does get within the next few months. I'm not trying to get sick. I ain't trying to get, fall under the weather even no cough, no cold, nothing. I don't want to get sick at all. I think I've told you guys this before, like one of my biggest like pet peeves of all time is getting sick. I absolutely hate getting sick. It's not something that I enjoy doing. I don't think it's something that anybody enjoys, is getting sick or getting under the weather. No, not for me. It just isn't. I don't plan to ever get sick. Like that's not like in my schedule, or like that's not what I'm like trying to think of, like, go throughout a week, like planning like, oh, I might get sick this day, or I might not feel good this day. Like that's not something that anybody I think wants to plan, nor anybody can plan. But, with that being said, I would just, prefer not to get sick. Like I said, I take, high precautions about it. So when I do get sick, and if I ever do get sick, I do become a little disappointed with myself. And I'm like, what happened? Where did I go wrong? What did I do? It's also, you got to be careful, like I said, washing your hands and all that, sanitizing, because you never know what's going to happen. You never know what you're going to touch. Go to the gas. I swear to God, there was this one day, it was like maybe, I don't know, I think it would probably say like in April. Yeah, I think it was in April. I did feel under the weather for like a solid like week. I wasn't feeling sick, but I was definitely not feeling 100% like good. And I think what had happened was I normally travel in my car. Well, when I'm in my car, when I drive, I normally have a bottle or, a little container of hand sanitizer in my car. Because, when you go to the store, when you go to the gas station, especially the gas station, and to put in some gas, you definitely are going to be touching the nozzle, or where you put pump your gas, and just so many people are going to be touching that pump, that hose where you pump your gas at, and you just gotta have like common sense that not everybody who's going to go put their gas in at this pump is going to have clean hands. It's just it's pretty much inevitable that that pump is going to be filthy with bacteria that, it's just going to be super at that point. There's going to be bacteria from one person, another person, it's going to be awful. It's going to be a big mess, a disgusting mess. And one day I was out of hand sanitizer and I decided, I still pump gas, and, I pump gas, and then I remember very, very clearly that once I was done, I got into the car, I was driving home, and then all of a sudden I itched my eyeball. I itched my eye. And you know how when people are sick, or you're around people who are sick, you're not supposed to touch your face or whatever, your nose, eyes, whatever. To this day, the day after, I was feeling not very good. And I completely, blame it on myself for having itched my eye right after I had pumped gas and not have hand sanitizer. It was my fault. Completely my fault. And there was nobody to blame but myself. It was tragic. Couldn't believe it. And I knew for a fact, because I had remembered, oh yeah, I did not have hand sanitizer. This is on me. This is entirely my fault. And I screwed up big time. And you know what? There was nothing I could do but, blame myself. So that day, in the coming days when I was feeling sick, I had nothing but just, disappointment in myself. There was nothing that I could do about it. There was nothing I could do. I was feeling not well. The best thing I could do was take some Tylenol, I think I took emergencies and stuff like that. But there was nothing I could do. I totally screwed up. It was all me. I was the one who essentially let my guard down and got sick. So now, at this point in my life, I am super paranoid about, bacteria on my hands. Any type of thing that's just on my hands, I always feel like I gotta wash them or sanitize them very quickly, because it's something that's so easily avoidable. Washing your hands is a simple way to keep yourself away from sickness, and it's pretty foolproof. It's pretty much going to guarantee you at least have more protection from getting sick. So, people who don't wash their hands, I don't understand how they go about their lives. I truly don't know how they can go day to day, place to place, without washing their paws, their grubby little hands. I don't understand how they can do that. Truly boggles my mind how that they're able to just be I'm going to go to the bathroom, and I'm going to come out, and I'm not going to wash my hands, and I'm going to go do this, and I'm going to go eat and not wash my hands. I don't understand how that is something that people can just live with. And then they're yeah, I'm cool. I'm good. But I feel also, when you do get sick, it's almost like a blessing in disguise. Because, getting sick kind of revamps up your immune system and kind of gets it to work out and gets it to, experience some struggle in your immune system's life, and gives your immune system purpose of what it is supposed to do. That I think is kind of a good thing, because if you're not exposed to any type of bacteria, virus, pathogen, your immune system's going to be a weakling. It's going to be a baby back bitch. And you don't really want that. That's why they have flu shots and all that kind of give you a little bit of a dose of the virus to kind of prep your immune system and give you the game plan of okay, when you do get attacked by this sickness, you have a blueprint. You got a playbook on how to counteract it easier and much more efficient. Like, that's why we have, the flu shot and stuff like that. That's why they exist. So it's like, it's kind of a good thing that, you do get sick, and then you have like the virus like kind of like in you still. So you probably won't get sick again. If you do get sick again, it probably won't be as bad. Again, I'm no doctor, but that's what I've been told. And I feel like that's also kind of true. Like, when I do get sick, like with like flu, I don't get it again. Like, I don't come down with like the flu, a month later. That has like never happened to me before, ever. Like, I've never been like, going throughout my life and getting the flu, and then like a week later or a month later, like, oh, guess what? I got it again. Like, that has never happened in my entire life. Knock on wood, that never happens to me again, or ever, actually. But, if I could, base it off of some hypothesis that I have conducted on myself, I'm pretty sure it doesn't happen twice, at least that quickly. So, if you're worried about getting flu multiple times, it's probably not going to happen. It's just not something that occurs that frequently. Never been done before. Now, if I was to get sick with, like, I don't know, measles or mumps, I have no idea. I have never had in my life measles or mumps. So, I mean, I could not tell you that. I've also never had chicken pox. I think I was like given a shot when I was a kid to prevent that from happening. And, so I never had that in my life. I think the older generations were like forced to get chicken pox. And I'm pretty sure I've seen commercials where, now I haven't researched this too much, but there was this infomercial / commercial. I can't remember which one it was, but it was either one or the other, probably a bit of both. But it was saying that it was like declaring on the commercial, if you have had chicken pox, then you already have shingles inside of you. And it was like, shingles is like these blistery things, and it's like, whoa, what? How does people get that just from having chicken pox when they were a kid? It's almost unbelievable. It's like, you think about it, and it's like, how does that happen? Now, how come science was so behind on that there was a whole generation of kids that were essentially given chicken pox? I've ever heard of, like, chicken pox parties where, like, people take their kids to go get chicken pox so they can be done with it already, just experience it and then go. There's like a whole generation of people that were like that had chicken pox, and now they got shingles. It's like, shit, bro. That's some wild ass shit. But yeah, I mean, that, knock on wood, I've never been like, had chicken pox. I don't know if I can because of that vaccine that I took, which apparently I've never had since I was a little baby. I'm not sure how that vaccine seems like it's life-proof or lifelong vaccine, but a flu shot is every single goddamn year. It makes no sense, but, that's what the doctors are saying, so I guess I gotta believe in what the doctors are saying. I would very much love to know how these injections worked, but I don't know if I would be able to handle all the little details of, like, what can go wrong and all that stuff. I don't know how it all happens, how it goes down, who decides to who will get this shot, and if this shot will work. How effective is it? It's crazy. Moving on, like I've told you guys in the past few episodes, I have begun this journey of playing Spider-Man 2 on the PlayStation 5. And I have finally finished Spider-Man 2 on the PlayStation 5. Only on the PlayStation 5. I finally finished it about 3 days ago. And now I'm going to review it. And I'm pretty sure where I left off in my first, like, talking about it was I was enjoying it very, very much. And I was having a lot of fun with it, and I was loving the way that, you can traverse the map with web swinging and all that, and the traversability and the way you move around through New York City and all that. And now I'm going to fully delve into this game, and there will be spoilers. So if you have not completed Spider-Man for the PlayStation, Spider-Man 2 on the PlayStation 5, I would probably skip ahead to where I'll put a timestamp in the description below of when I will be speaking about Spider-Man 2, when I'll be reviewing, giving my in-depth analysis of it. And so beginning now, the review of Spider-Man 2. Overall, I love this game. I love everything about it. I did not think that I would actually love it as much as I did, but I am so happy that it actually was a much more pleasant surprise than I was expecting, which is a good thing, I think. I think when a movie, a TV show, especially I think a video game, can really captivate you and catch you off guard and like really truly make you fall in love with a game that you weren't really expecting to, is one of the best surprises that I think any person, or at least any gamer, can experience with modern day gaming. Like, it's truly, I think, a treat, if I'm being completely honest. Like, I think that, when I first played the first one, when I first played it, the 2018 one, I played it this year, 2023, like around, I don't know, March, maybe April. I can't remember when I played it. Maybe June or July. But I did play it, and I liked it a lot. I didn't love it, but I liked it. It kind of felt a little bit more like, your typical superhero Spider-Man type game, the brawler type games where you just punch enemies and stuff like that. Of course, the web swinging in that one is also incredible. The story's good. But it wasn't like... It wasn't like... I didn't feel what I felt in Spider-Man 2 that I felt in Spider-Man 1. And I think that that's incredible, because that means that they actually stepped their game up and made a game that, for one, looks incredible. Like, the graphics in this game are unbelievable. Like, it truly does feel like a next-gen upgrade from the first Spider-Man game. Like, it is night and day, so much better. And I played on performance mode, I believe, where it's like buttery smooth, 60 frames per second. The combat is awesome. This web swinging is great. The introduction of the web wings in this game is like another level of traversability around the entire map of the city. Like, it is truly such a fun part of the game where I was literally, and I'm not kidding you, my friends are asking me, how much longer are you going to take to beat this game? Because they beat it with like within the first 10 days of getting it, maybe even less. I'm not too sure. But like, I barely beat it like a few days ago, and I was just like, dude, I cannot put it down. Like, I'm not doing the story all that much. I'm just swinging around, flying around, swinging into combat, swinging into, stopping crime, swinging around just to have fun, doing some tricks, swinging plus flying plus the photo mode. Like, I was just lost in this game. And this game makes you feel like Spider-Man. Like, there's just no way to put it. Like, it nailed giving you that feel that you are Spider-Man. And I could not put it down. I couldn't put it down. I was just so immersed, so sucked in. I loved everything about it. The story, the characters, the attention to detail, the dialogue, the the little not the side stuff, but the collecting of all the stuff that it makes you go throughout the city and go throughout just collecting all these things. You can collect like these spider bots that are placed around all the entire map, and they have different themes and stuff, and it's very cool. And just like the overall look and feel of it was just amazing. Like everything was great. The lighting was awesome. Like I said, the graphics, the combat was even better. At first, I was kind of a little overwhelmed because of how much you could do with the combat. But then once you get your head around it and how like you have so many different like special abilities other than punching and kicking, once you get that down and you get in a groove, like it just becomes so like so easy to use, and just like it all just flows so well, and it was awesome. It was just a great game, a great experience. Now I want to touch up on the story, because the story is what I think, you can have a game that makes you feel like Spider-Man when you swing throughout New York City, when you fly with your web wings, when you fight crime and beat up bad guys. You can feel like Spider-Man, yes, in that sense. But there's also another like element to feeling like Spider-Man. And that's when you get, the full Spider-Man experience, when you are thrust upon, who they are as real people. Peter Parker, Harry Osborn, Mary Jane Watson, all in this game. With also bringing in Miles Morales and his crew, his mom, his friend, and having them in that too, and having their stories so fleshed out and so intertwined, and all leading to one big story. Where in the game, Kraven the Hunter is like the bad guy, and he's introduced because he wants a challenge, and he wants to kill these villains that have been hunting down Spider-Man, but he's not satisfied because they're so easy to kill. And he ends up, of course, from the trailers, the symbiote is in this game, and the symbiote is obviously the Venom. So Venom is in the game. And by the way, this game has the best version of Venom that I have seen in any media. Comic book, video game, TV show, film. Spider-Man 2 for the PlayStation 5 has, without a doubt, the best Venom that I've ever seen. And it's not the traditional Venom. Like I said, there's going to be spoilers, so Venom in this game is actually Harry Osborn. And the reason why it's Harry Osborn is because, like, if you played the first game, or when you play the first game, Harry's not in that first game. He is, very sick and trying to get, cured from whatever disease that he has. And his dad, Norman Osborn, is instructing Kurt Connors to cure him. And the way that they're doing is by using the symbiote to heal him. And, in the game, Harry returns, and then he's like, super juiced up. He's like healthy. He's super strong. And they're wondering, like, why is he so, healthy? Why is he so fit and like full of energy? Like, how did this happen? Like, what is he on, or what was he cured with? And then, things happen, and it's revealed that he has a symbiote. And, of course, they figure out the powers, the abilities of the symbiote. Eventually, one after another, one thing after another. And then you get, Peter in the suit, and then that causes a whole another tension between the characters, like Miles and MJ. And it's just awesome, because it's also like an original take on it. Like I said, it's not the traditional Venom story with Eddie Brock. It's it's Harry Osborn, so it doesn't feel like you've seen it before. Also, adding Miles Morales in it too makes it even more original. By the way, having Miles and Peter in this game, being able to play as both and being able to upgrade their different abilities and getting different suits, like unlocking different spider suits for their character, was just even more like adding on to the greatness of this game. Because you can play as either Peter or Miles pretty much at any time in the game whenever you want. It's pretty incredible. And the fact that this game pretty much has like zero load times, like none, almost like God of War Ragnarok, is just breathtaking. Like there is no loading screens. There's no like waiting for things to, appear. Nothing like that. It's just so seamless and just goes right in from cutscene to gameplay, back to cutscene, back to gameplay, so smoothly that I was just blown away at, like, okay, here it is. Like, here is the speed at what we are seeing these next generation of consoles truly being able to perform and run a game as big as this, as beautiful to look at as this, and how just like there's like essentially no time wasted. And I was even blown away too by, how I said you can switch from both Miles and Peter. Well, they don't just like appear in the same spot of the city that you are. It actually takes you to another location of the city where you switch to either Peter or Miles. And that also takes zero load time. And I was just like, oh my God. Like, this is truly next gen. There is essentially no loading. Like, I could not believe it. I was actually astonished when they were saying that the PlayStation 5, that this game, Spider-Man 2, is going to push the PlayStation 5 to its absolute limits. Now I understand what they were talking about, because this game truly goes above and beyond what I think modern games have done in this so-called current gen. I mean, we've had these consoles for about 3 years now. These consoles came out in 2020. The Xbox and the PlayStation 5 came out in 2020. And now we're getting the games that, they've essentially been promoting with these new generation of consoles, and it's beautiful. Like, I was talking about it a few weeks ago, Starfield, while it has loading times and load screens, they are not as long as they used to be. Like, they have definitely gotten better at cutting down loading times, which is great, which, sometimes loading times can break your immersion in the gameplay experience. Now, with that being essentially eradicated, it's just so seamless. And with this one, I mean, I couldn't believe how good this was. I mean, you talk about, rendering and loading all within like a cutscene or a little quick time thing that you have to do in the game. It's actually unbelievable how good it is. And, it also kind of makes you feel like, when we get to a point where there's like literally like nothing to load, like, that's going to be crazy. Like, I think after playing games like these, with the capability of what these developers have in their pockets, and how they develop games now, and how they can make a game just like seamlessly go from set piece to set piece and have like really no issue with it whatsoever. You probably can't go back to games where they have load times. You probably just can't do it, because now it's going to be expected from every game that comes out to not be have a bunch of wait times and a bunch of like loading times. That's just not going to be a thing that we as consumers, we as gamers, are going to expect from these games. And I think that, because Spider-Man feels like a game that was so loved, and so, so much effort was poured into Spider-Man. Like, they poured it into Spider-Man like I just feel like, this is like a game that I think personally is the best Spider-Man game that I've ever played, 100%, but also has a pretty damn good shot at being like game of the year, like 100%. Like, this game for real has a chance to be the game of the year. I don't think it was game of the year when the first one came out. Not sure what that was. It might have been God of War. But I think that this game for sure has a shot at being game of the year. I mean, if it came from a person like me who thought that the first one was pretty good, I wouldn't put it like, one of the best games I've ever played, but it was certainly very good. To now me saying that this is the best Spider-Man game that I've ever played, and, potentially the best game of the year for sure. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I love Starfield, but like, the story for this game and the way that it was told, and then the all the technical marvels that they did with this game to make it look so good and feel so good and just perform at such a high level. Every single part of the game is performed at a high level. Drama, game mechanics, dialogue, story, just any gameplay. It was such a great game. I could not believe it. And it looked so good throughout the entire game. It's incredible. It's miraculous. The way the symbiote looked, the way Venom looked. I mean, I'm not a Venom guy. There's a lot of people out there that love Venom, probably more than Spider-Man. I mean, think about this. They made 2 Venom films because Venom is such a popular character. And he's not even the main character. Like, he's a Spider-Man villain or an anti-hero. Spider-Man's anti-hero. I don't know. The fact that they made 2 films without Spider-Man, just being about Venom, it shows you how popular the character Venom is. Like, super popular. And for me, who hated those 2 Venom films, I mean, I hate those Venom films. Seeing Venom in this game alongside Spider-Man and it being Harry Osborn, the best Venom I've ever seen, hands down. And I was cautious about how Venom was going to be protruded in this game, because I heard it was not going to be in a traditional, storytelling of Venom. Like, it wasn't going to be Eddie Brock. And I was like, what are you talking about? But it, I let it play out. I saw it and I was like, whoa, this is fucking lit. And then, spoiler alert, you get to play as Venom for a little bit. Incredible. Now, if you're a guy like me who has played Ultimate Spider-Man back in the day, you're going to be like, oh yeah, this feels good. A lot of the moves and mechanics were very similar to how Venom played in Ultimate Spider-Man, and it was just a blast of the past. Like, it was awesome to play as Venom, to see Venom. And the game was just incredible. Incredible. My only real gripe, though, with this game, and it's probably going to be a collective gripe that we have about this game, is while the main story is incredible, and while I enjoyed swinging throughout the city on my webs and my web wings and web zipping and all that shit with both Peter and Miles, the side quest still just not that good. There's a couple side quests, couple little things that you're supposed to do. Some are for fun, some are with a story. Well, most of them have a story, but some are more funner than others. They're just like not that good. That's like my only gripe, is like is the side quests, the side stuff is just not very good. Now, I completed everything. I did. I truly completed 100% of the game. The only thing that I didn't do was I didn't get all the trophies, which I'm probably going to go back for one day, look them up, and try to bang them all out in one playthrough. Try to do that. But in terms of like completing every like assignment that's within the game, did all that, completed everything. And, it was fun to do that. It was cool to complete it. Was it very good? Not really. Like, the side stuff is just not that great. But yeah, it's just side stuff. You don't even have to do it. But like, seeing those icons on my map, or seeing what I can do. Like I said, I enjoy the game so much. I honestly did not want the game to end. I did not want it to end because I was just loving it so much. And I was doing every side quest, everything that I could do, and I completed it before I actually completed the story, which is what I wanted to do in the first place. I did not want to have to complete the main story and then go back to completing side stuff. That's just not what I like to do in games. But yeah, the only real gripe that I would have with Spider-Man would be the side stuff. It's just not that good. Not very worthy of the main story that we got, which is, I mean, it's not supposed to be as good. You know, I wouldn't say that it's supposed to be like on par with the main story, but I just felt like it was not as bad as Spider-Man 1's side stuff, because Spider-Man 1 had like 3 different types of missions where they were all just beating up bad guys, you know, and that was pretty bad. This one doesn't have that. It's not as terrible. It's not as repetitive, thank God, but it is a step better, but it's not like enough where I'm like, the side stuff was incredible. Like it was all right. You know, it was cool. So at the end of the day, having me spiel everything that I love about this game, you know, from the Spider-Men, you know, both Peter and Miles, to the side characters like MJ and Harry, all being in it. Miles's mom, her name is Rio. Genki, I think Miles' love interest, his name is Haley. You know, all these characters that are, you know, in the game, and a big part of the main characters, you know, stories, you know, being fleshed out, you know, doing some very fun missions, some fun mini game things, just kind of fooling around type missions where you just kind of, you know, have fun. Being able to web swing and web zip and web wing all over the entire city, pretty much like being able to go wherever you want in such a fun way, was incredible. I mean, I'm going to go high with this game. I'm going to go pretty high. I didn't think I was going to go this high, but I mean, I'm going to go high. So I'm going to give Spider-Man 2 a 9.6 out of 10. Like 9.6 is pretty high. Like that's a pretty high score for a Spider-Man game for me, that I honestly was not expecting for me to love it as much as I did. But the fact that I did, that I came away from this game loving it this much, I'm actually, you know, pretty happy about that. I'm pretty shocked, but also very, very happy. Money, you know, well spent. You know, a lot of games today, you look at it, you want to justify the purchase. You want to justify it. And with this game, I was on the fence. I got sucked in with the hype. And then I was like, am I really going to buy this game? I was contemplating it the entire day that it came out. Do I buy this game? And then I was talking to some people. My friends were getting all crazy about it. And I was like, you know what? Let's get it. Let's get this game. And I did. And it was 100% worth it. 100% worth it. If you're on the fence about this game, and you probably just, you know, you're looking for something to play, you want a cool, fun game, maybe not, you know, a super sweaty, competitive multiplayer shooter game or multiplayer game, but just a pretty cool game that you can play to get your mind off of things and just to have fun, with a pretty tight story and pretty good, actually, amazing game mechanics. I would highly, highly recommend Spider-Man 2. Highly recommend Spider-Man 2, for sure. Now, moving on to another game that is pretty much upon us. Yet it doesn't feel like it is upon us. But regardless, it is. That game is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. And I think that I mentioned this a few weeks ago after I played the beta, and showing my pretty big disappointment to the game. That I was not really impressed, that the nostalgia was there at the beginning and then it just died very, very quickly. I made that very, very clear, that the nostalgia of being able to play on the old Modern Warfare 2 maps was there, and then it was gone like a fleeting shadow. Like, so quickly. Like, it was just gone. And now, the news of the campaign that is also coming out with this game, that it is apparently not good, very short, and feels, from what I've heard, feels like it was going to be a DLC for Modern Warfare 2. We went from talking about a game that was totally justifiable, buying it day one, full price. The hype is real. This game is good. This game deserves to be played day one. Your money is well spent here. To a game that I couldn't tell you even more, or I couldn't tell you more to avoid. The reason why I think that this is happening, why this game is starting to emerge as a game that you should probably avoid, because of that very reason. Because it was, rumored that they were going to do a Call of Duty bi-yearly release right before this game came out. Like, that was the consensus of, what was going to happen in the future with Call of Duty. That this was the plan. We have Modern Warfare 2, a game that, when it first came out, you could tell that there was, a big improvement from the way that it looked with the campaign, the multiplayer, to the Warzone. Now, internally, the stuff that did not work, like the movement was definitely something that they probably should have tried to address faster than they did. People were not a fan of that. They lost players. They didn't like the way the guns played. They thought it was too slow. They lost players quick, fast. They didn't like the new Warzone. They didn't like the new multiplayer. They didn't like any of it. The maps, what have you, everything that they put into this Modern Warfare 2 game that, for me, was an upgrade from Modern Warfare 1. A lot of people did not like. But a lot of people still did like it. But what did Call of Duty do? What did Activision do? They went for a course correct. And they were saying, like, you know what? We're dead in the water right now. We need a new release. What do we got, in the pipeline? Well, our plan was to do Modern Warfare 3 next year, but get it out right now. I think that's what happened. They said, we need it out now because we need to correct everything that we mistakenly did that people do not like and people are not a fan of. And now, because they decided to do this, they decided to put out Modern Warfare 3 this year, you can totally tell that this was probably just thrown together within like the past 5 months, because the fact that they're using maps that they've already created, just, remastering the way that they look, not even actually making new maps. I think that they're launching with all remake maps, and then I think I also saw that they were going to be putting in maps, fan favorite maps from Modern Warfare 2, into the Modern Warfare 3, in the future, which, screams to me that, okay, so I guess this is totally just a freaking a game that was just thrown in together to just, try to, save some fans from turning on the franchise. Dang, that's incredible. I can't believe it, because, all these maps that were just remakes, and now that the the campaign is only 4 hours, it's kind of weird, because it's it also kind of went away. It was almost you remember Halo Infinite was kind of like an open world type game where you can go to this place and do this mission, and then go to another place and do that mission. I liked that for Halo. That was cool. But it's just something about Call of Duty being a world, a worldwide, modern day conflict, in the Modern Warfare franchise. It almost kind of gave me vibes of 13 Hours plus Zero Dark 30 plus Lone Survivor all in one game. It was beautiful. It was awesome. I love that about the Modern Warfare or the newer Modern Warfare series. Like, it was just awesome. It was cool, cinematic, blockbuster type, video games. And it kind of went away from that. I haven't seen all the gameplay. I'm probably going to look into it more. I'm definitely not going to buy the game full price. I'm not paying $70 for that, DLC. I'm just not going to do it. I mean, I can't be like sitting here and being like, you know what? I'm going to go buy Modern Warfare 3 for full price. Just can't do it. I can't bring myself to doing it. So it's been tough. For some of my friends, one of my friends has wants me to get it, has said, like, asking me, are you going to get it? And I've had to tell him, no, I cannot. And he's a big Call of Duty guy, and so was I. But I can't, like, look at this game and be like, yeah, I'm going to spend $70 on this, and it's going to be worth it. Like, I can't. When I look at it, when I see how this game plays, when I see what people are saying, and I know I should be playing this, for myself, right? I should be playing this for myself. But we mostly play the multiplayer. We mostly play, like, the Warzone. Like, I'm not gonna spend like $70 to play a 4-hour long campaign that's, like, not very good and not very innovative and not, that good, and then go to a multiplayer where it's maps that I've played before and I've seen and I've played countless hours on, and that doesn't feel like a brand new Call of Duty to me. It just does not. It doesn't feel like a new Call of Duty whatsoever. Like, it truly just feels like we're just going back in time. Like, it's cool. It's cool nostalgia. It's cool to see those maps back, but, like, not for this long. Like, I won't be able to do it. I can't. I think that people really, when that news came out that it was going to be not all new, but all remakes of Modern Warfare 2, old Modern Warfare 2 maps, like, we were like, yeah, cool. People were jumping for joy. But now, game's about to come out, no one gives a shit. Like, no one cares. Like, that nostalgia really died quickly. Very quickly. I think it died so fast that even people from Activision were like, yo, I thought people wanted this. What happened? I mean, dude, like, nostalgia works in weird ways. We could live off of it. We could want it. But when it's, like, so short-lived and so short-field, like these maps, it's like, ugh, nah. Then it just kind of feels like you're lazy. And especially, like, in a FPS game like Call of Duty, where it's like, you can't make new maps? What? Really? Okay. All right. I guess you won't make new maps, whatever. But yeah, I mean, talk about a game that had, like, a little bit of hype going into it. One of my friends was, like, all in on it. He was saying to me that this is a day one buy. This is a day one buy. Get Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Let's face it, we all wanted it to be good. We all wanted Modern Warfare 3 to be a game where, we could all play. We wanted that because there was such a division with Modern Warfare 2. One of my friends, she was, hyped for it. She was wanting to play Modern Warfare 2, but then she played the beta, hated the movement, hated the gunplay, hated it so much that she went back to Modern Warfare 2019 and still plays that to this day. So you can't just say that, Modern Warfare 2 wasn't that problematic, because to some people it was. They actually quit playing Modern Warfare 2 to go back to Modern Warfare 1. Like, it's crazy. But that's what happened. It was such a polarizing game. For some, for others, like me, I loved it. So, yeah. And I was liking Modern Warfare 3 too. The gunplay is cool. The gameplay feels good. But it's just all old stuff that I've already played before. Like, it's just like, I don't gotta play this. I don't think it's worth my time, worth the money, the energy. I don't want to have to, go through prestiging again on maps that I've already leveled up on. Like, I don't know. It's kind of sad though, because I wanted it to be a game that all of my friends could hop on and play, but it's not looking that way. And I was telling my friends, like, if I was to get Modern Warfare 3, it would not, I could not do it at full price. I just could not do it. Like, I can't. I just can't. I got standards, and I can't do it. I look at it and I'm like, this is a DLC, man. This is a DLC. I can't do it. I can't. Unfortunately, it's come to that. It's come to this where I'm like, wow. Hey, all good things come to an end. In the heyday of Modern Warfare 2019 and during the 2020, during the pandemic, I was playing that night and day, every single day when we couldn't do shit. Nothing. My boys, Warzone, multiplayer, private matches. I mean, we played that to the sun came up. God, what good times. And then we wanted that to happen with Modern Warfare 2 again, because Black Ops Cold War came, that was a dud. Vanguard was a dud. And then there was 2 years of misery. And then Modern Warfare 2 comes out. It's divisive. People falling off left and right faster than we ever thought that they would. They show Modern Warfare 3. It's all remakes, nostalgia. We play the beta, and then we're disappointed. Now we're back to square one again, being disappointed. It just seems like more of a collective disappointment in this version than a split disappointment. So, hey, I don't know. Maybe with the Microsoft acquisition, they'll be able to, make smarter decisions, make better games. Hopefully the games are on track. They don't seem rushed. They don't seem like DLC. Hopefully that there's a better future for Call of Duty games. I hope so. Last thing I want to talk about with you guys today, some movie news. And this is kind of coming from a rumor, but also maybe not as much of a rumor as we think. So last week I was reading online, and it was, there was a lot of publications like posting about this thing that's a possibility, a very much possibility. And for me, I feel like this thing that could possibly happen is very, very, very bad. So bad, like, it's not just bad, it's embarrassing. It's super embarrassing, and it really, like, just highlights why these people are very uncreative, very misled, not inspired, and lazy. And the rumor was essentially that Marvel Studios is thinking about resurrecting the old Avengers, meaning Iron Man, Captain America, Black Widow, back from the dead, to reprise their roles, to come back into the MCU. 100% cringe. Like, no, you shall not. When I saw this, I was truly disappointed. Now, of course, this was all a rumor. This was what was being reported to, what they were saying at their little Marvel Studios retreat. I can't remember where exactly they went to go retreat at, but they, the executives, the studio members, maybe the top writers, the top directors are all being, having this retreat where they can brainstorm ideas. And this is where this was all reported, that they're flirting with the idea to bring those characters back from the dead. And of course, that was a rumor around last week. A week later, today, I heard that apparently Kevin Feige has commented on this. First of all, him saying that he had not heard of that, which I don't buy that. I don't buy that at all. what you're saying. And then he said, at the end of his quote, I believe he said about, bringing back Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. He said, "We'll see. We will see." I'm pretty sure. Am I paraphrasing? But it's inclined that he's thinking about it. Bringing back Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. And, of course, if he brings back Iron Man, who's to say that he's going to stop at Iron Man? He could bring back Captain America as well. Could bring back Black Widow. Could bring back everybody else that was in the Avengers before, Endgame, that perished. This all screams that either that they're in such a bad situation that literally, like, they have no other ideas but to bring back these dead characters, or they just don't have any faith in what they have right now. It's one of the two. I'm inclined to thinking that it's probably the second one. And I'll tell you why. There have been a lot of new Marvel things that have come out within the past 3 years. WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Eternals, Shang-Chi, Moon Knight. Those are some of the big earlier things that came out within the past 3 years. Around 2020, 2021, right? Where are they? How come they haven't been in, like, other things that would give you the inclination that they're going to be a part of the ongoing Marvel Cinematic Universe? Like, how come we have not seen more of Shang-Chi, or we haven't seen more of Bucky or Sam Wilson? Sam Wilson, by the way, is now Captain America. If you don't know that, like, why is he not in more things? Wanda's just what happened to her. The Eternals, what was that all about? Like, why did we have such a big movie that had some big, powerful characters ultimately lead to something that people are forgetting? Like, people, like, don't remember the Eternals whatsoever. People don't care about the Eternals at all. Whatsoever. Like, am I missing something? Like, did they forget? Or are they just not going to make anything about them? They just decided to make it because it might have led to something, but now they're kind of not wanting to continue that? I don't know. What about, like, She-Hulk? Isn't, like, She-Hulk, like, at least, like, sort of popular because she's part Hulk? I don't know. Like, wouldn't she be something that they would want to bring back? I guess not, because we haven't seen much of her. Like, I truly think that Marvel, like, is not, like, it doesn't like what it has to deal with right now. It doesn't like what their properties, what Marvel is looking like right now. Like, Shang-Chi, Eternals, Moon Knight, Hawkeye. What is this? What is this crap? Like, it's only crap because Marvel has not decided to move forward with the characters that are their strongest. Like, why have we not seen more Shang-Chi? Why? People like that movie more than they like the other crap that they put out, and yet we got none of it. And then the shit that the characters that we did like Thor and Ant-Man, got pretty damn bad movies. That, honestly, I don't want to see Thor ever again. I'd rather not see Thor for the rest of my life. After Love and Thunder, no way. I'm done with Thor. So, yeah, this rumor has gotten me pretty up in arms, I would say. Like, either way, bringing them back from the dead is, I mean, like, that, I think that to me is just like a big, like, please watch our stuff. Please. We have nothing. We messed up. But it's like, I do think that Infinity War and Endgame is a good send-off to that generation. But for some reason, modern day Marvel cannot write worth a damn. They cannot make their characters good anymore. They can't make their characters watchable anymore. They can't make their movies or TV shows entertaining enough for you to stick around. I think that it's not because they killed off the best characters. No. They were only good characters because they made them good with their movies, because their movies were pretty damn good. I've said this in the past. The MCU, for me, ended with Infinity War. Anything above that is fan fiction. Anything after that is fan fiction. There's some good fan fiction like No Way Home, and there's some really bad fan fiction like Thor Love and Thunder. Puke. And then it's like Guardians of the Galaxy are still, they just made a movie about that. But what does that have to do with the other things? It doesn't really make any sense anymore. And even that movie, which performed decently at the box office, but definitely not as much as it could have made, right? I think that just the MCU is so all over the place right now that they don't have a cohesive story that they want to tell, to have a, kind of bring back the vibes of the first 3 phases where everything was so important and it was all like a family thing and a team thing, where it's like now it's just everybody's just on their own. They're just making shit because they have to make release dates, and it just doesn't feel as good as it used to be. And that's because it's, 1, oversaturated, too much of it, and then 2, this might actually be number 1, is that none of it's good. None of it's actually good. If it was all good, we would probably all love it. We would love the new characters if it was good. But because it's not good, we don't give a shit. Like, there's like not many people out there that like the Marvel TV shows. You ask them, like, Falcon and Winter Soldier should have been a good TV show. People should have liked that show. Not many people like that show. Not many people like it at all. So it's just quality. Like, there's no quality there. The quality's gone. And because the quality's gone, they feel like now, with this rumor, that they have to bring back the old characters. They have to bring them back from the dead. And if that's the case, if I'm going to see, if I see a trailer within the next 3 years for Iron Man 4, back with Robert Downey Jr., back from the dead because somebody did a timeline bullshit like The Flash, I will not watch. I don't think I would be able to watch. I think I'd just be like, yeah. No, you had that. You did that already. Sorry. I ain't going to come back for that. I might be done. It was cool while it lasted, but I'm out of here. So yeah, that can't happen. This rumor better not be true. I mean, this better be just a big fat rumor, bullshit, fake, no evidence. But I don't know, man. They're desperate. They've got some pretty bad stuff coming out, and that's just because they don't have anyone writing these things. It's just not good. It might also be because they're rushing everything out because they got to make release dates, which would also, contribute to why they're so bad. That could be that too. But, you look at it as a whole through the films that they've come out with and all the damn TV shows that they've also come out with. A lot of it is not very connected in a way that we were used to. And they're trying to make it like that with a couple scenes here and there connecting things, but it's not enough. It's not enough. And it's not like I want to watch or have the time to watch every single show that they put out there. So what am I supposed to do? How does anybody keep up with this and know everything that's going to happen? How can you want to stick with it when it comes out and it's not that good? It's just the quality dipped. So did the attention. So did the audience. So it makes sense why these rumors are coming out. they want to bring back Robert Downey Jr. because I guess that's all people fucking want. Which is, you would think that, yeah, that would be better than what the crap that we're dealing out now, because we don't have faith in them to write good stuff without those characters. I don't know what happened. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, that's my thoughts on that. I don't think it's going to happen. I think that it's just a rumor. The fact that Kevin Feige, said we'll see, or we will see, not doesn't boost my confidence that it's not going to happen, but I don't know. If that does happen, though, you can count me out for sure. Anyways, people, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. You can find this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube at Intelligent Moron with Alex Silva. New episodes drop every Thursday morning. Make sure to like, subscribe, rate, review, and do all that good stuff. And yes, thank you for listening and thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next week.